Welcome to the Stanford Lee Show. This episode, Napoleon's Book of Nonsense. You know, there was a book that Bonaparte, can I call him that? Bonaparte, kind of like we know each other, carried around, and he would use it to make decisions, to divine information. It was kind of a book you could go through and pick some numbers, letters, just kind of sort it out, if you will. You know, the way you would go through, like a game of chance with random numbers or dice or any of those kind of things where you're trying to randomize your options and get an answer. So I've been a little bit hard on it, but we're going to have some fun exploring this. When you think about books and the Hermetic, woo, we would all, we wouldn't exist at this moment, consider it, if the Necronomicon was actually true. I realized this when Missy from my high school let me borrow a copy of it. I'm kind of like, wow, do people really have access to this? I mean, can they really release Cthulhu into this realm and destroy us all? I guess I lost a little bit of, I don't know, it's kind of like my world kind of, just kind of shrunk a little bit, with that realization. I'm like, this is a real thing, but if it was, we'd all be, kapooey. Anyway, that's kind of the direction I wanted to take with it. Napoleon is, it's interesting. He doesn't really creep up in popular culture except as kind of that little bust that you keep in the library or something. But he was really interesting if you can kind of put all the things aside about the way he treated Josephine or his, wars that ravaged Europe. He probably wasn't a bad guy, but Napoleon Bonaparte was a French emperor who conquered most of Europe in the early 19th century. That's the 1800s. He also was a big fan of the Book of Fate, which was sort of a magic book that supposedly told the future. So he would use it to consult it before every battle, sometimes even during battles. He would ask questions like, should I invade Russia, or should I divorce Josephine? Or should I wear this hat? And the book would give him answers like, yes, no, maybe. It was very vague, it was ambiguous, but Napoleon believed it was always right. The problem was that the book was actually written by an ancient Persian king who had no idea what Napoleon was talking about. I mean, the book was full of random statements that could mean, kind of this, kind of that, and everything in between. For example, one page said, "The lion will roar when the sun sets." Napoleon thought this meant that he would win a decisive battle at Waterloo, but it actually meant that his pet lion would get hungry at dinner time. Another page said, "The eagle will fly over the sea." And Napoleon thought this meant he would conquer Britain, but it actually meant an eagle would fly over the sea. It was Napoleon's reliance on the book that led him to make some terrible decisions that would cost him his empire and his life. He invaded Russia in winter. He divorced Josephine for a younger woman who hated him and wore a hat that made him look ridiculous. He also ignored his general's advice and common sense because he trusted the book more than anything else. He died in exile on a remote island with only the book for his company. He never realized the book was just a bunch of nonsense, written by someone who lived thousands of years ago and had nothing to do with him. But really, think about his impact on culture. I was like going through the top 100 lists of songs, and I'm like wondering, has there been any songs written about Napoleon that remain today? And of course, the first thing that came up was Waterloo, that was sung by ABBA, a Swedish band that won the Eurovision Song Contest in 1974. The song was about a woman who surrenders to love like Napoleon surrendered to Britain and Prussian armies at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. This was a clever metaphor because both love and war and people what they do when they're in love and war and battle, something like that. Anyway, the song was such a big hit because it had a catchy melody and flashy costumes and 4 attractive singers who looked like they were having fun. Some people also liked the song because it reminded them of history, kind of like Game of Thrones, but with less dragons and more syphilis. I wanted to do an experiment. Look, if this book is so awesome, it's like maybe I could gain some inspiration today. I don't need a computer or some of that AI stuff. I can just kind of get some ideas looking through this book. So that's what I did. I did that for you so you don't have to. And it's kind of like a little experiment I would do. I worked at a company where we would have like activities. It was almost like daycare for tech workers. It was kind of like we would do something fun every week, and somehow, because maybe I wasn't useful enough, I got the privilege of putting together these activities. And one of the things that I did was similar to using an oracle. It was rolling dice to see who would play what instrument. It could be a tambourine, a whistle, or ukulele, or a drum, and then have different phrases or different themes of songs. So I just kind of took a variation of that. I got this number generator, pretty simple, and took some phrases from the oracle, just to see what would happen. Picked 3 of them and started putting a song together. And so we'll see what happens, but let's take a listen to Little Napoleon.
I consult the oracle to divine information randomly from the heavens above. I consult the oracle to divine information and inspiration from above. How the cards are arranged, how we play the game. Are we gaming the system, or are we being played? I divine inspiration, seek information with no hesitation in my mind. Yeah. Napoleon and Josephine, oracles and separate dreams. Napoleon and Josephine, divine intention and different dreams. A divine information with no hesitation, connected to everything here and above, as it is above and below. Things I should know and don't know, it's all the same to me. Like Napoleon and Josephine, oracles and different dreams. A divine intention with superstition, knowledge and science and mystery. You've got to keep the mystery. You've got to keep the mystery. You've got to keep the mystery. Oh, Napoleon and Josephine, oracles and separate dreams. I divine information without hesitation, living in this psychotic dream. 'Cause it's kinda nuts out there. It's kinda coming from everywhere. So it's kinda nuts out there, if you know what I mean. Like oracles and crazy dreams. I need more of those crazy dreams. More of those crazy dreams. More of those crazy dreams. What's the book telling me today? What's it gonna tell me today?
I had a great time, everyone, and I will see you next time on the Stanford Lee Show.